Ah! Hi. Hold on. Can you see me? Okay. I guess you can kind of see me. Oh my god. Hello. It's been a while. Let me just get settled for a second. I am checking the feed here. Let me just see if the sound's working. Hi, Eddie. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to check up on a few things and then we shall get started. Alrighty. How has everybody been? Oh man, what is this? Okay. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait. Let me get my movie sheet out. This is so funny. I haven't done a live stream in so long, and I'm trying to work it with my phone, especially because previous times the quality has been so low that I felt like I needed to switch the camera out. So, give me 1 second. Okay, I got my movie sheet. Sorry. Is it too far? Shall I bring you a little close? How's that? Can you see me? Yeah, that's a way better angle. All right. Anyways, hey you guys, it's So from So's Real Thoughts. It's been a while. I think the last time I was on the channel, I think I probably just talked about crowdfunding for my film Liquor Store Dreams. We have been in production and it's been very exciting, and that's kind of why I've been MIA. I've been doing a lot of other things, and so film reviewing has slowed down a bit, but I also just miss talking about films in general. Let me get a little closer now that I can, now that I know this angle works. Yeah, it's been great, and there's a lot of films that came out this year that I am really excited about, that I want to talk about, and I haven't been able to for a while. I can't believe it's already September. So a little update doing the movie Liquor Store Dreams. You can follow our Instagram, any social media. We're out there. I'll update you whenever we're shooting. We're really other great news that I'm not going to announce just yet. Second, did you see that YouTube has this new thing, not really new, maybe new to me, this community page that I've been just kind of updating people, and I think it'd be a nice way for me, besides Twitter and Letterboxd, to let you know what specific films that I enjoyed most recently and talk about what I'm watching and things like that. So go check out on my channel. There's like a community tab that I think I'm just going to randomly suggest videos that I've liked, that have helped me, that are very informative, things like that. I think that's about it. Third, I honestly love doing live streams, and I was thinking about even doing live streams of just me watching films and us actually watching films together at the same time in our respective rooms. Like, it's the best way. So we can watch things together. If you guys like that idea, let me know. I'm down to do that because I'm constantly watching stuff anyways, and it'd be nice to watch it with somebody. Okay. With that said, there's a lot of films that came out this year, and I'm going to talk about what I consider possibly the best films of 2019 so far, considering that we are in September, we're itching towards Oscar season, and it's going to be pretty exciting. And so there's that. I will say that there's a couple of films that are on everybody's list that I have not watched yet, like the new Tarantino film. I have not watched that. But others, I feel like people would agree what's on my list. For starters, let's get started on the top 10 best films of 2019 so far. How can we talk about 2019 and not talk about Jordan Peele's Us? I know this got polarizing reviews, considering that it was unlike Get Out, his previous film. Totally understandable. I don't think that one film is better than the other or anything like that, and I know a lot of times people want to watch one filmmaker and then keep watching them, hoping that they do something very similar. Like, Jordan Peele may not be a Wes Anderson type, you may say. He's not going to do the same aesthetics, he's not going to do the same story, and so even though it was a slight departure from what we saw in Get Out, I think Us, for me, was really fascinating. I liked that it had such polarizing views. It was so out there. Like, I know that it was hard to grasp for some people, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, if you have not watched it, let's do a very brief breakdown. I think this is Jordan Peele's, oh my god, this is his second film. If you have not seen it, it's about a family's serene beach vacation which turns to chaos when their doppelgangers appear and begin to terrorize them. As you know, that Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Elizabeth Moss, I love her so much. They're all in this film, and to me, what I love about films in general is that you can take a very, very realistic story, especially in America, and even though it seems like it could not happen here or in reality, it does. I like that aspect. So I know that, spoiler alert, if you have not watched Us, you're going to have to look away or turn the volume down for a second. But I like the fact that he built a completely new world for us, and this like mythology of people's huge US experiment that went horribly wrong. I mean, totally believable. The US has done really weird things so far, and so I believe that premise from Us. Granted, I think, oh my god, truly one of the best performances by Lupita Nyong'o. I have said that her doppelganger, who speaks in that like scratchy voice, truly haunting. One of the best performances I've ever seen. I love her, and I think the story overall was very, it was like days because there was so much tied into that. But Us dealt with like America and like individual journeys per se, and this whole like mythology of the US coming together. And if you do a side by side from the very first shot to the very last shot, I love when films do that. It kind of, you can see the whole arc in that respect. And so, yeah, I loved, I mean, what did you guys think about Us? Because it took me several viewings. I think after the second viewing, I was like, I love it so much more. It's one of those films you have to watch constantly over and over again just so you can pick up the little cues. The Mr. Alexander 19 said that I love the theme song from Us. They take a very classic 90s rap party song and make it really creepy. I totally agree. I think it was perfect the way that they did that. I just think about so many iconic scenes from Us that really, that Jordan Peele takes so many cues from iconic horror films in general, and I think it's great because in this film, I mean, in Get Out, the enemy was almost like that white family, but in here it's us. We are our own nightmare in many ways, and how do you beat yourself in this situation? And it was such a real challenge, especially because they look like you, they know what you do, and it's almost like, I don't know, it's just so freaking haunting to know that there could be another version of you out there that is incredibly mad because you live this life. Anyways, there's so much to add on top of that, but I thought it was perfection. I've also, if you don't follow me on Letterboxd, I have been keeping track of all my favorite films there, and it was the first time that I actually made this list, and so it will be, I'll probably add in more stuff along the way. What is next? I'm trying to go like chronologically from like when it came out, but honestly, let's just like pick a random one. I don't know if you know my taste. It's very eclectic. I like very different things, from indie films to blockbusters to superhero movies to action films. So, needless to say, our second best film of 2019 has to be John Wick, Chapter 3. How do I say? Parabellum. I've been following this series since John Wick 1, and it has gone bigger and bigger and bigger. And honestly, this has not disappointed so far, because a lot of this film was, let me just, oh, maybe I did not. Hold on. John Wick. So, if you didn't know, John Wick is one of the greatest action films ever. It was, I think the first one was directed by Chad Stahelski, and oh man, this other guy, we'll find out. Hold on. David Litch. Is that how you say his name, Litch? So Chad Stahelski, if you did not know, has been Keanu Reeves' stunt double fix, and they have very similar builds, and he's a great martial artist and things like that, and he's just so freaking great, and it was just about time that they teamed up to make a film together. David Litch, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. He has been doing stunts, but most recently he started directing after John Wick. He ended up doing Deadpool 2. Most recently he did the Fast and the Furious Hobbs and Shaw film, and they've kind of departed. Also, he did Atomic Blonde, which was very similar to John Wick in the color palette and execution and things like that. I really did like Atomic Blonde. You should watch that. So John Wick 3, basically, if you don't know the premise, he's this assassin who's like trying to get out, and then they like murder his I mean, like I said, if it's a lot of this is spoiler alert. He's trying to get revenge because they did something to his pet, his dog. So, but this particular premise is an ex-hitman comes out of retirement to track down the gangsters that killed his dog and took everything from him. Oh, that was the premise. Yeah. So in this one, it took. We're already at chapter 3, and chapter 3 really goes in way deeper. And like I said, what I like about films, these type of films, is that they take a part of reality, and even though it can be fabricated, it seems like it's part of our real life, our reality. There's these subculture, these groups underground that are doing all these things. And John Wick 3 was great because not only, I mean, every John Wick is great, but all the action was just like top notch. Every sequence. I love car chases, and this time around, they also had oh man, they had a fight scene on a horse as well as a motorcycle. Ugh. You know what? If you like motorcycle scenes where they fight people, watch The Villainous. One of the most iconic motorcycle fight scenes ever. I think it's on YouTube. Search it. Because it was just so freaking good, and they took so many cute fight scenes as iconic with and he's the target of hitmen and women everywhere. So he's really outcasted. He needs help by everybody there. Like once the clock strikes 12 or whatever, he's double checking if I'm double checking if my internet's still working. Okay, great. I love the fight scenes. I love Keanu Reeves in general, but he really like stepped up his game. I love Terry Halle Berry's role in this, especially with her dogs, and I love when you can see all the action in full sequence. It's not like a million cuts like Taken. You know what scene I'm talking about. But you can see it fully. The scene with the horses, amazing. I love how it dives into more of his past. Angelica Houston's in this. She's incredible. I loved it, and they really left it. You thought that they would finish the film here because honestly, it seems like back-to-back fighting for the entire film. I'm not mad about that, but I also want some progression. I thought they would end this film here, usually like a trilogy, you know, close it out. But they're making another film. It actually had a story. I think Harmony Korine, at this point, he can make anything good. But like there was more intention. It just felt like a bigger and better movie than I would have expected from him. Given his like status now as a really great filmmaker. If you don't know what this film is, it's about a rebellious stoner named Moondog who lives life by his own rules. Very simple. So I almost thought he could show almost nothing and get away with it, but he actually went in depth kind of Moondog, which is this was filmed by DP Benet Debbie, who did a lot of Gaspar Noé's films, and I think he also did Spring Breakers. So you get all the classic Harmony Korine parts of this film. Sentimental, because they dove in a little bit deeper than expected. Behind who he is, why he lives his life like that, and what he's about, and almost makes you cherish that life is so much bigger than having a lot of money, which of course is totally a must. But the way that the film was framed, I really appreciated him kind of spelling that and like promoting this mantra of live your best life, with or without money. Sorry, I don't know if my internet froze. It did freeze for a second, but I'm back. What else can I say? Loved it. If there's any other Harmony Korine films that you've watched that you've loved. I really like Spring Breakers, but I almost feel like The Beach Bum is even better. And Snoop Dogg's in it. Isla Fisher's in it. She's so great. Martin Lawrence is in it. Come on, it's like what? Oh, Zac Efron is in it. That was like one of the best parts. Truly, truly one of the best parts. Honestly, I always like wonder what Zac Efron is doing. Jonah Hill was in it. A lot of great people. A lot of great people. Alrighty. Of course, one of the biggest buzzed films this year. You know what I'm going to talk about. I'm really into superhero movies. I've been in it since the very beginning, and this has been a 10-year culmination of everything. And so, of course, yes, I am going to talk about Avengers Endgame because we spent 10 years with these stories, with these people, these characters, and finally we're at a point where it could almost, this is it. This is happening. If you don't know what happened, I think one of the best superhero films to ever have come out is, besides The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. I also really love that Avengers Endgame was directed by Anthony Russo and Joe Russo, who also did Captain Phillips. So Endgame, if you did not know, whooping the whole like franchise, whooping 3 hours after the devastating events of Avengers Infinity War. The universe is in ruins. With the help of the remaining allies, the Avengers reverse. Right, let's like go out with a bang. Sorry, I don't know if it's buffering or if it's me. Okay, anyways. With your okay, I have no idea where it cut off. I'm so sorry. Why does it keep doing this? I don't know if it's like the extremely hot temperature or whatnot. I will have to do this all over again. Maybe I won't even save the video. Good to have you here, though. I was talking about Avengers Endgame. I loved how it played with the concept of time. I know with time travel, it always can get a little finicky, especially because, like, time travel movies, like, are you serious? Like, you want to go back in time to fix it? Like, okay, whoopie do. But I think that they already know in this realm, and they were very maybe I have to turn how they do a lot of. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with this thing. They said I liked Infinity War more because it had more action. I did like Infinity War because it had more action. I'm just glad that they finally finished this. It was a big hurrah. I think it's still one of the best films to come out this year because there was just so much that went into it. But as a film in general, I did like Infinity War slightly better. More because of Thanos' character. In this film, I mean, surprise, he like really so quickly. It's shocking. Everybody was great. I'm glad that there was a lot of sacrifices made and a couple of people ended up dying. One of which I was like, thank goodness. But the other one, honestly, like it was like truly devastating. Truly devastating. If you know what I mean. It was such a tearjerker moment, end of an era. It was beautifully done. If like nobody could have done it better than them. They were amazing. And so yes, another very, very talked about film this year that, I mean, I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch it? Did you watch Lulu Wang's The Farewell? Because it was pretty fantastic. If you don't know The Farewell, let me just go back. Sophomore film. It's about a Chinese family who discovers their grandmother has only a short time to live and decides to keep her in the dark. to live and decides to keep her in the dark. A wedding to gather their grandparents or whoever's that's passing away, that they're actually sick or gonna pass away, because they want to take on the burden and the grief of that person, which is totally such a Asian thing to do. I think in America we feel like that every American deserves the right to know the truth, and like, why not get justice in whatever it is. But in Asian cultures it's not like that, and I really liked seeing both sides of it, especially as Aquafina is playing the Chinese American girl with her grandma. I just thought it was beautifully done, shot amazingly. I love the score. There were so many comedic moments. I like the balance of the dramatic and the comedy, and in every frame they were able to say so much about the culture. One of my favorite scenes was the dinner scene, where they're talking about, like, if they're gonna send, one of the aunts gonna send their son to America, and they were comparing if China or America was better to live at. And I really liked that particular discussion, as well as the wedding, that photo shoot at the, what was it? It was some wedding photography studio that they were at, and Aquafina's character Billy was in the foreground with her grandma, and they were talking, but so many things were happening in the background, and that really set so much context to, like, what goes into a traditional Chinese wedding and all this, like, fancy things that happen and things like that. And so I really liked watching that. I thought it was really well done. I'm so glad it got picked up by A24. Honestly, they never pick up Asian films, and that was one of the best. Like, I'm glad that they picked that one, truly. And I was kind of skeptical about Aquafina making a very dramatic turn in her career, but it really worked out so well. I really felt so much conviction, also because I think the film aligns a lot with how Aquafina's relationship with her own grandmother is like. They're very close, and I'm glad that we're able to show this and have her play that part. I didn't put it up, but when I went to the Q&A at the Ace Hotel, I think Lulu Wang said that she wasn't sure Aquafina would be the right person for the role. She was like, oh, I don't know, like, she's the girl that did my veg, whatever. And then she ended up seeing a self-tape, and she was like, very different from what I expected. And they met up for coffee. They kind of really got along well, and so that was great. Oh man, who's better, Aquafina, Ali Wong, or Constance Wu? It's not I don't know if it's about better. They're very different. Everybody has about better. They're very different. Everybody has their own style. Specific qualities. I think we need all. Actually, I'd really love to see all three of them, maybe as the next Charlie's Angel. That'd be kind of cool. Also with Gemma Chan. So this film, probably controversial. I gotta get ready to talk about this one. It's a horror film. Can you guess what I'm talking about? It's Ari Aster's Midsommar. So, after I watched Hereditary, which was one of the most haunting films I've ever seen in my life. I think it's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's truly like that film and Get Out are two films that I really could not sleep for like days. Especially with Ari's Hereditary. I think the way that they filmed it makes you see things in the shadows. So sometimes when I'm walking in the dark, I get really scared. Do not like that. Do not recommend. That was not good. So Midsommar, if you have not watched it, a couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Ooh, my favorite parts. I truly appreciate. I just love it so much. I have not seen Florence Pugh in anything previously than this film, but she's been in a lot of stuff, right? Actually, yeah, not really, not things I've seen before. A Woman, a Black Widow, great. Jack Renoir, who is he not from the Hunger Games? I think that's how I know him from. There's a couple of other guys. William Jackson Harper, who is from The Good Place. Wilhelm Blomgren is Pell, one of the Swedish dudes. Oh wait, sorry, not Jack Renoir. I was talking about Will Poulter. Will Poulter is the one from Hunger Games. Jack Renoir, who plays the boyfriend in this. Where has he been in? I have never seen him. Honestly, this film is filmed Midsommar several years back. Similar premise. Oh, I have not. I'll have to check that out. I mean, Ari just Ari. What I really liked about this film is the fact that they took such a traumatic event, but once you're encountering like bad to bad, like maybe it could become good. It was from the production, like I think the main thing was he was able to tell such a dark and scary story all in daylight, especially set in Sweden. It has this really bizarre premise, and it just, you can see stuff is happening. This Florence Pugh, who plays Danny, plays her with so much depth, and there's so much pain, and there's so much like anguish, and every little action you can truly feel like what kind of person she is. She doesn't want to be a burden. She will go out of her way, extra out of her way, to like please the people around her and things like that. And she's brought to an event that is truly horrific, but for her it like truly sets her free. And I think the premise alone, on top of it being all shot in daylight, the acting from every other character, and just the progression of the story really made everything like believable. The mythology, like I would never be in that kind of cult, but I was like, you know what? If they want to do it, like it's on them. Like I don't want to be part of it, but good for them. Different way. I don't know how to describe how do I describe Midsommar? People ask me if it was scary. I don't categorize it. It's technically scary. It's more, and even, it's nothing compared to like Hereditary, but it was definitely. Go watch it if you have not already. And let's talk about something a little bit more light, something with a little bit more comedy. I love rom-coms. There's not that many rom-coms that come out lately, and so whenever there's a rom-com, I'm like, hey. And most recently came out with an Asian American rom-com called Always Be My Maybe, which I really loved. For one, I love Mariah Carey, and her song Always Be My Baby is one of my favorite songs ever, and they were able to use it in this song and like, you know, make it their own, and then make the title Always Be My Maybe. If you don't know what it is, everyone assumed Sasha and Marcus would wind up together, except for Sasha and Marcus. Reconnecting after 15 years, the two start to wonder. Hi, sorry guys. I think it's just because my phone's really hot. I wish I can. Sorry, guys. I just said I think it's because my phone's really hot and it's going in and out. Watch it, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna save this. So you're seeing this as is. Who knows if I'll save it. So I don't know where it cut out. You'll have to just let me know if it cut out at a certain point. I was talking about Keanu Reeves' pivotal role in Always Be My Maybe. He was one of the best things about that film, his entrance, his swagger, and then he paid for everybody at the end, which is the total Asian move, and I really liked it. Vivian Bang is always great. It was an all-around solid movie. I've watched it several times and I still love it. It's all the comedic marks, and it was just really great. There's not that many like rom-coms to have come out, especially Asian American rom-coms, because honestly, like, what's the last Asian American rom-com to have come out? I have no idea. Next film is Olivia Wilde's Booksmart. If you have not watched it, watch it. On the eve of her high school graduation, two academic superstars and best friends realize they should have worked less and played more. Determined not to fall short of their peers, the girls try to cram 4 years of fun into one night. Directorial debut film. Oh, very cool. Very well done, Olivia Wilde. As you know, Caitlin Dever plays Amy, and Beanie Feldstein plays Molly. And this is very much like what was my high school favorite, Superbad, which starred Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. And little did I know that Beanie Feinstein is also Jonah Hill's little sister. I don't know how the name works out, but they're siblings, and they look so similar. I don't know why I didn't connect the two together. It's hilarious. The film, what I really liked about it is that if I was in high school right now, I think it would really be an accurate depiction of how everything is, especially that school in particular felt like the really rich, like Calabasas school where everybody's rich and well off and educated, and they all are party animals, but yet they all got into Yale. Those types, those people exist. But in this frame of the story, it just worked really well, and it gave so much motive, and even I felt so much of their characters being in high school and feeling like they wasted so much time, because that's a part of how I felt. And as it is a friendship story, they covered up. Was I a picture? And so, yeah, it was fantastic. I love the song choices. I love the way it was filmed. I know that the trailer seemed they like really highlighted the fun parts, but the film itself was consistently fun. It was very well written. There was so much chemistry between everybody, and I loved seeing Jessica Williams as the teacher and so many different cameos. And then there's a final scene where it's a true coming of age film of your friends. Great high school film. I think if I had Superbad of my generation, this generation has Booksmart, and they're all great for it. It was so good. Lisa Kudrow was in this. Oh my god. Will Forte, Jason Sudeikis, and Billie Lourd as Gigi was comedy gold. I loved her. Where are we now? We got pretty far. Okay, I have like 2 more films to talk about, and then I'll so one film just came out, very controversial. It's by Jennifer Kent from The Babadook. She did The Babadook. It's a horror film. It's on Netflix. Truly haunting. It's one of the best horror films I've seen. Go watch it. So she came out with another film because she got so much praise after The Babadook. You think she would do another Babadook type, but she made this film called The Nightingale. Set in 1825, Claire, a young Irish convict woman, chases a British officer through the rugged Tasmanian wilderness, bent on revenge for a horrible act of violence he committed against her and family. On the way, she enlists the service of an Aboriginal tracker named Billy, who is also marked by trauma by his own violence-filled past. So I have no idea. I've never seen these actors before. He plays Claire. That vampire film, Twilight. That's how I know him. And there's a lot of people. Bay Kali Ganam Bar plays Billy. So basically, what I'm trying to say, this film is probably one of the most fucked up films. It's really hard to watch that is displayed, but like all the emotional like trauma that comes with the violence. It's not just like, let's show you this violent scene. I've seen Takashi Miike's Ichi the Killer. To me, very bloody, very violent. Sure, I get that. But the Nightingale was on a different level in terms of violence. It was very like traumatic violence. We're talking about I don't even like saying the R word, but rape. A lot of blatant murders. There's things that happen that a lot of people walked out. They only showed this film in one theater in LA. In like all of America, I think they were only showing it in like 3 theaters because it is that violent. It is very shocking. It's like hits you to the core. There was one scene in particular, which I will not talk about in depth, where I've heard that people walked out, and I realized that was the scene that they walked out on, because I was like, what could be so obscene? But they went there. They like crossed that line, and it was truly shocking. Like I think I like gasped so hard. It was not pretty, and they go through so much. This film is not an easy film to watch. It has so much, like, as it deals with trauma and violence and of like just being human. You can see that it's set in 1800s, where women are violated, racism is rampant, and white supremacy is everywhere, and things like that. And it was just a really hard film, but once you got out of it, I mean, it was a journey, because I think it's like a 2.5-hour film. It was just so beautiful. I think the way that they did it, everything was necessary, and it really serviced the film. And I think at the end, you're just like you just take a breath. You can actually finally breathe and kind of soak in the beautiful aspects of this film and what it's trying to say. I come for making this film, because it is not easy. Like, I don't know how they did it emotionally, because it could take an insane toll on you. One of the last films I'll talk about is my personal favorites. I don't know if anybody else watched it, but I just had such a fun time, and it's called Wine Country. One of my favorite people on this earth is Amy Poehler from Parks and Recs, one of my favorite shows on this earth, and she directed a film called Wine Country. It is literally what it sounds like. People going to wine country. During a vacation to Napa Valley, a group of longtime friends reunite and revisit past choices in this hilarious and heartfelt comedy from director Amy Poehler. She basically got all the best women from her SNL days and put them in a film. So we have Amy Poehler, Rachel Dratch, Anna Gaster, Gasteyer, Maya Rudolph, Paula Bell, Emily Spivey, Tina Fey, newcomer Maya Erskine, who is from Pen 15 on Hulu. Definitely watch that. Jason Schwartzman. So I think that they hit it on the head, hit the nail on the head. It was just so freaking funny. I loved it. It was just it had not only story and like individual journeys and things like that, but really captured friendship, especially there's not that many films focused on older women, and I admired and I loved that this film talked about friendship at that age, and they were just having fun and the things that they go through and stuff like that, and everybody, it was just really well written, as well as they have so much chemistry, and it's just a really great time out in wine country. Of course, there's conflicting things that happen that are part of the story, but honestly, it was a really good time. I watched that film at least like 3 times because I had so much fun with it. It went such Is there certain films that you loved that I have not seen? I mean, in particular, the Tarantino film I have not watched yet. That is something I'll have to watch soon. Yeah, let me know. Is there a film that sorry. Is there a film that you would recommend? I actually wanted to do a longer live stream today. I might leave this video up even though it has been very finicky, just for people to catch up, and then I'll delete it later or whatever. Oh, hi Carl. Hi Carl. We actually went through this whole list, which I did mention Midsommar. So once this live stream finishes, then you can kind of go back and you can see what I said about that film. So the only films I really haven't watched is the Tarantino film. You know, as a documentary filmmaker, I have not talked about any documentaries. And I think one honorable mention that I will say is American Factory on Netflix. I thought it was a really great portrait of America and their relationship with China, and it was just so fascinating because I know Asian cultures and American cultures and the labor laws that are in place, and it was just really great to see of 2019 on my Letterboxd. It shows real thoughts. Been watching every day, as well as the list I'll be making for 2019. It'll be ongoing, and then from there I will narrow it down. Some films that I'm actually excited about this year. I'm excited about Little Women. What else? I have not seen the first It, so I can't watch the second It, but I really want to. Hey Carl, sorry, we talked about Endgame. You'll have to check back. There's a lot of films. I came to say goodbye. I guess my whole ending spiel didn't work, but I am done. Thank you for making it through this live stream. Please review everything, and let's talk in the comment section. And please be sure to look at my YouTube community page so you can see what other videos I should do. Okay?